Hello and good morning. Let's take a look here. These top two problems are EOC questions. Notice that the lines are parallel. We're talking about geometry right here. Anyway, these lines are parallel, so you might as well put double arrows right here. And if they're parallel, this one and this one, what's the relationship? Well, those are called same side interior, and anything with SS adds up to 180. So you're going to take the first one plus the second one and set it equal to 180 degrees. Make sure you turn to your neighbor when you're done and discuss this. In this case, we're going to draw a line, and we're going to get 4x. And then here it looks like 30 minus 10 is 20. And then you have to solve this equation. So you're going to subtract 20 and then divide by that 4 right there. When you subtract, you get 160. Divided by 4 is going to be 40. So x is equal to 40, and 40 will make those lines parallel. Now, if you want to find out this angle, you would put 40 plus 30 and get 70 degrees. And this one has to be 110 because it's got to add up to 180 degrees. And there it is. And you're going to have this problem or one like this for your homework EOC work. And every weekend now we're going to do 3 problems EOC. And you're going to turn that in with your homework. Okay? All right, let's keep moving. This one right here, the lines are parallel, but this one is top. Those are corresponding and they're equal to each other. So 110 is equal to 2x plus 20. Draw your line. You're going to subtract 20 and then divide by 2. When you subtract 20, I guess you get 90. And when you divide by 2, you're going to get 45. And then you plug it in. Well, this angle has to be the same, so this angle has to be 110 as well. Okay? So you got 2 possibilities on the EOC. If it's SS, you add them up and set it equal to 180. If it's anything else, you set them equal to each other. All right, on a new sheet of paper, or actually we got one more here. This one says a dilation of 1/4. So to do a dilation of 1/4, what you're going to do is divide by 4. So when you divide by 4, you get a -1. When you divide by 4, you get 0. When you divide by 4, you get 2 and 1. And when you divide by 4, you get 3 and -1. And that should be your dilation. And so in other words, you're going to start off with something very big, and you're going to end up with something very small. 1/4 is the scale factor. All right, on a new sheet of paper, copy this one down. And this is your 3rd problem for your homework EOC question. And make sure you do these because if not, you automatically lose points. So in this one right here, it's an isosceles triangle. So what you have to do to get perimeter is find the distance. Well, since this side is the same as this one, we only have to do the distance formula one time. Okay, so what I want you to do is work with your neighbor here and do the distance. Well, this point here is 0, 0. This point is over 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 5. So we've got to do the distance. So in this case, we're going to set it up just like that. So we're going to say 0 minus 2 and 0 minus 5. So this is going to be a -2 squared minus or plus a -5 squared. In this case, you're going to get 4 plus 25, which gives you the square root of 29. So this side is the square root of 29. This side is the square root of 29. And this side is 1, 2, 3, 4. We can just count those. So perimeter, and this is on the EOC, you should have seen it. So what we're going to do is take the square root of 29, hit shift, square root, and I get 5.4, roughly. But you got 2 of those. And then plus, you got 4 at the bottom. So times 2, because you got 2 of those, it's an isosceles triangle, and then plus 4. And this is the exact answer. I get 14.8 feet is the perimeter. Okay? And again, these are the 3 problems you're going to have. All right, on a new sheet of paper now, I want you to copy these rules and everything you see right here. We're going to talk about today's work, and this is 7.2. Let me slide that down a little bit. And we're dealing with similarity transformations. And you might say, well, what the heck is a similarity transformation? Well, let me show you in the book. If you start from this one, okay, actually what you're doing is this is the prime, so you're starting with this one. So you got to be careful that you start with the plain one, okay? So the question is, how would you go from this one to this one? Well, it looks like you would rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then you would dilate it a certain distance. Now from here to here is 2 marks. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marks. So if this one is 2, let me make sure I'm matching up the sides. All right, and I wasn't. This one is 2. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's twice as big. So it's 90 degrees counterclockwise, and it's a dilation of 2. And that's what it should be. Now this one says 90 degrees, but it doesn't say counterclockwise. Okay, so this one, they start it with that one, which is a mistake. Okay, this one should have been 90 degrees counterclockwise rotation. And that's what you're doing with a similarity transformation. Okay, so copy down these rules right here, and we're going to work this first one as well. All right, so let's do the first one. If you rotate 90 degrees, and that's this one, I believe you change the x and switch. So change x and switch. Remember, I tried to get you to memorize that. 90 degrees counterclockwise, which is this way, you change the y and switch. And then this one, you just change both. And you can verify that if you need to. So let's take a look up here. You're going 90 degrees rotation about the origin. Now it doesn't say which way, so it's got to be clockwise. It's got to be this one. So you're going to change the x first and then switch. So you're going to get 1 and -5, because when you change that, it becomes a negative. When you change this, it becomes a positive, and then switch. When you change 0, it still stays as 0. This one, when you change 4, it becomes 6 and -4. All right, so we did the first part. Now you want to dilate it by 0.5. Well, 0.5 is a half. So in other words, you want to divide by 2. So the next step is you want to divide all of this by 2, and you just write it like that. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 0 is going to be 0. This one's going to be 3. And when you divide this one by 2, you get a -2. And that's how you're doing today's work. Okay, so copy down these rules. If you reflect it over the x, remember, you change the y. If you reflect it over the y, you change the x. Okay? Let's see what we have here, reflection. Okay, yeah. And then down here you got the rules for rotation. Your work for today is right here. Okay, we're going to switch now to MCR class. MCR class, we're going to work these and then you're going to discuss it with your neighbors. So let's take a look here. Your denominators are 5 and 10. So put 5 and 10 and then take the biggest, which is 10. Does 5 go into 10? The answer is yes. So that's your least common denominator. So you're going to multiply each one of these by 10. When you multiply by 10, 5 goes into 10 2 times, and then 2 times 1 is 2. So you're going to get 2a. 10 times 1 is 10. Here the 10s cancel and you get 3. So you have to solve that equation. So you're going to subtract 10 from right here, and then you're going to divide by 2 to get rid of that 2. So a is going to be -7 divided by 2. That's your answer for that problem. Okay, one more. This one right here, take your denominators, 6, 3, and 4, and write them to the side. Take the biggest, which is 6. Does 3 go into 6? Yes. Does 4? No. Double it. Does 6 go into 12? Yes. Does 3? Does 4? They all do. That's your least common denominator, and that's how I want you to find it. So we're going to multiply everything by 12 here. 12, all up in there. So 6 goes into 12 2 times, and 2 times h is 2h. 3 goes into 12, 4 times 2 is 8. The 4 goes into 12, 3 times 5 is 15. And you're going to solve this equation, so you're going to subtract 8, and you're going to divide by 2. So when you subtract 8, I think you get 7. And when you divide by 2, you get 7 over 2. And that's how you do it. Today you have a worksheet. And the worksheet looks like this. If you can't be with us, or you need to get it off the canvas, but you can't, it's right here on video. You'll just have to write it on paper. Make sure you put worksheet B, I think this is. Okay? So that's pretty much it. Good luck, and I'll see you in class.